The founder of Toys R Us died 1 week after they announced his life's work was being shut down forever. In 1948, a World War II veteran named Charles Lazarus opens a baby furniture store in Washington, D.C. He notices something interesting. Parents keep coming back, not for furniture, for toys. Kids lose interest in old toys fast and always want new ones. Lazarus sees the opportunity and makes a bold move. In 1957, he opens the first Toys R Us in Rockville, Maryland. One simple concept, a supermarket dedicated entirely to toys. Not seasonal toy aisles inside department stores. A year-round toy destination with thousands of products stacked floor to ceiling. No one had ever done this before. He became the first category killer in retail history. Other stores only sold toys around Christmas. Toys R Us sold them 365 days a year. Smaller toy shops couldn't compete with his prices or selection. By 1978, Toys R Us was the largest toy retailer in America with over 180 stores and $1 billion in annual sales. By the mid-1980s, the chain had over 1,400 stores worldwide. They carried 18,000 different toys per store. They owned 20% of all toy sales in the United States. Competitors like Child World and Lionel were forced into bankruptcy just trying to keep up. Lazarus was the highest paid CEO in America in 1987. The company became an $11 billion empire. Jeffrey and Giraffe was one of the most recognized mascots in the country. Every kid in America knew the jingle. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. The brand was untouchable. Then the board made a fatal decision. In 2005, they sold the company to three private equity firms, KKR, Brain Capital, and Vornado Realty Trust. The price tag was $6.6 billion. But here's the part that nobody talks about. The buyers only put up about $1.3 billion of their own money. The other 80% was borrowed. And all of that debt got loaded directly onto Toys R Us. Overnight, the company that had dominated American retail for decades owed more than $5 billion. The consequences were brutal. Toys R Us was forced to spend $400 million every single year just to service that debt. That money could have gone into better stores. That money could have gone into building a real online presence. That money could have gone into competing with Walmart, or Amazon. Instead, it went to interest payments. Before the buyout, Toys R Us had $2.2 billion in cash reserves. By 2017, that number had dropped to $301 million. The company that once crushed every competitor in the toy industry couldn't even invest in its own survival. September 2017, Toys R Us files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy with $5 billion in long-term debt. 2018, all remaining stores close. 33,000 workers lose their jobs. The private equity firms collected an estimated $464 million in fees during the years they owned the company. Charles Lazarus, the man who built the entire empire from his father's old bicycle shop, died just days after the final store closures were announced. He was 94 years old. Multiple groups tried to revive the brand after that. New ownership, pop-up stores, a partnership with Macy's, none of it stuck. The original Toys R Us is gone. Meanwhile, Lego was facing its own crisis around the same time. By 2003, Lego was $800 million in debt and losing £1 million per day. They had overexpanded into theme parks, clothing lines, video games, and dozens of products that had nothing to do with plastic bricks. Instead of selling to private equity or piling on more debt, they did the opposite. New CEO Jørgen V. Knudstorp stripped everything back to the core product. He cut product lines, sold the theme parks, refocused the entire company on what Lego did better than anyone on the planet: making bricks. By 2015, Lego overtook Mattel to become the largest toy company in the world. By 2024, annual revenue hit $10.8 billion. Toys R Us died because people who never loved toys loaded with debt it could never escape. Lego survived because they refused to let anything distract them from what made them great in the first place. The lesson here is simple. Be careful who you hand the keys to. Debt is not a growth strategy. It is a slow death sentence for businesses that need to move fast. The thing that built your business is probably the thing that will save it. Protect it. Invest in it. Never let someone else's short-term financial blade destroy what took you decades to build. Because the businesses that last forever are the ones that stay obsessed with what made them matter in the first place. Think big.